Nice guy.
Yeah.
How about Insta?
Who's that? Oh!
We had an intern for months. He's asking who's
Who's
that.
that? No,
We're back. Studio.
Okay.
Mics are up. Studio is live. Good morning, Lagos. Thank you so much for tuning in. You're listening to Smooth Breakfast with me, Valentine, and it's time for us to talk sports inside of the locker room. And we're joined, as always, by Tega. Hi, good morning, Tega.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's a Feel Good Friday. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
It's fantastic. And Lagos, guess what? Because it's a Feel Good Friday, Waji is joining us again on the locker room. Hi, Waj.
Hey man, I'm here.
You're getting a lot of encomiums here on WhatsApp.
Oh, I am.
Yes, you are.
Pay your time to the church of locker room. You understand? Because we try for you.
All right.
Yes,
So,
you
if you want to find out how and maybe react to some of the stories, please send us messages through WhatsApp. The WhatsApp number is 0809 0981. That is 0809 981. Now to our first story. Two England-based players, Alex Iwobi of Arsenal and Wilfred Onyinye Ndidi of Leicester City, will get the privilege of previewing the next set of Nigeria's national team kits and a forthcoming ceremony in London. Now, Nigeria's soccer body explained that it is normal for the world's leading kit manufacturers to invite top officials of their clients to preview and authorize a new design before the set piece is produced and launched.
Yeah. So I think the sports minister, the NFF president, Amatro Pinnick, and Shodiku, who is the head of the marketing department, basically have gone to the UK to sit with manufacturers of the Nigerian jersey. And so they do that, they show them the new designs, and then of course some players are supposed to have some
Try it on.
input. Well, there's going to be the trying on, so we're going to do another fashion parade for AFCON. As
And
usual.
we'll win best dress.
We'll
this
win
time.
best dress.
Yeah, of
No,
course,
we have
yeah.
to. Senegal almost tried to rob our shine. Can you imagine
Can
when they
imagine.
arrived? But
From where?
you know, as we are Nigerians, do not let them.
They beat us in the love price.
No, they are not close. They are just business suits.
Just have different colors.
Yeah. That one will not agree. At least not on air. So, but so that's what usually it would be. But here's what's interesting. I would think that with Mikel Obi now in the UK, he should be one of the because he's still, as far as I remember, he's still captain.
Yeah.
He should still be one of those people that are saying this is okay, this design will be good and that is not good. Which brings me to the question of image rights of players. So maybe that's where some things are dicey. But be that as it may, what's important is that we're sitting down with designers and preparing for the AFCON and other tournaments that we may be featuring, and especially for the women that are going to the World Cup. So let's see how that pans out. But it's a good one that we're doing the work that we're supposed to be doing.
Yes, that's good. And now, 2015 BBC Women's Footballer of the Year and a three-time CAF Women's Player of the Year, Asisa Toshola, joins Barcelona on a loan deal.
Yep.
The former Dalian player will be at the Spanish side until the end of the season. Now, explain. What does this portend for her? How much money is involved?
I don't even think it's about money. Money was China, but now there's some issue with the club in China, but she hadn't spoken about it because like professional player. But she's looking to where she's going to play her good football, and regardless of what it is, Spanish women's league is on the rise. Like it is the league I think every other women's league should go and look to. 45,000 spectators at the stadium for Athletic Bilbao versus Barcelona. Yeah, and they have a lot of people coming to the stadium. They play at the men's stadium sometimes too for more promo.
Okay. Do you think marketing has a lot to do with it?
Oh yes, marketing and investing. So you see La Liga flying all around the world, having partnerships with different federations. They even have one with the Nigerian Women's Football League and also with the Nigerian Men's League. They just finished a coaching training
Okay,
last
so they
week.
have a La Liga for women. It's part of the same
Yes,
group.
it's part of the same.
Okay, so unlike
it's-
England, where the women's thing is not part of the EPL.
Yeah, but it's still kind of part because
Okay.
it is the men's club that owns the
That
men's
owns
club,
it.
which is
Okay.
why they were able to force Manchester United to start a club,
Got it.
and then Manchester United started the club, and now they're looking to get into the Premiership. Like those people in Manchester, I want to go.
The ones owned by Scholes.
Yeah, I want to
and,
go.
And Beckham has now bought into it.
I want to go and
Yes.
understudy those people.
Yeah.
Those people know marketing.
Of course.
But
Brilliant.
what it is she's moved there, and so her football is going to, of course, because of the competition.
Yes.
A lot of good players are moving in there. World Footballer of the Year, I think, for 2017 was from played in Spain. So I think it is about the football now, and it's a good thing she's moving in the World Cup year. So we benefit.
I know.
So I think this loan deal, she can make it permanent with her performance because she's fantastic. She has the talent, and maybe because she's moved into a new culture and a new league, she's going to have to learn a lot, and her competition level will be sharp. So for the Super Falcons at the World Cup, yes, we're looking at goals.
Yeah.
So it's a great one for her. It's a great one for the Super Falcons of Nigeria, and I think it's also of benefit to Barcelona and the La Liga. So you look at her sister Australia, she's making rounds. She played for the Arsenal ladies, Liverpool ladies, and Barcelona ladies. Mention any male footballer player that has done that.
Yeah, I still want to know how much.
I'm not even going to.
But anyway, let's talk about this guy. So Brady is a man who likes to defy odds. All right, even now, aged 41 and with 5 Super Bowl rings already weighing down on one hand, he wants an unprecedented 6th, a feat that no NFL player, let alone a quarterback, has managed. Now Brady once said, "This is what they said about me then: poor build, skinny, lacks great physical stature and strength, lacks mobility and ability to avoid the rush, lacks a really strong arm, can't drive the ball downfield, does not throw a really tight spiral, system type player who can get exposed if forced to hand in, gets knocked down easily. It is the mistake many made," he said, and continued to make with Brady. Now, Brady knows he will have the work cut out for him against Los Angeles defensive front. In his words, he says, "It's a huge challenge, but that's what happens when you get to the Super Bowl. You play the teams with the best defenses and the best coaches. That's what these heavyweight bouts are about, and I hope we can make more plays than them."
Okay, we can go on and on and on about Tom Brady.
He fought one.
The platitudes are unbelievable. This man has been doing it for the better part of the last 19 years now, Tega. When you think about it, he got drafted in the year 2000. For those of you that understand the NFL draft, you have it round by round with regards to the players that we recruit that are out of the collegiate system. Tom Brady was in round 6.
Yep.
Right? And he came in at 199. All right, and he was pretty much written off that he was skinny, he didn't have all the right athletic build, he couldn't run, he couldn't do the pass rush offense and things of that nature. He was just criticized all the way down. This was in the year 2000. 2 years later, from the day or around the time period that he was drafted, the man won a Super Bowl.
Yep.
And then that's when his rise to ascension just began. And now this is going to be his 9th Super Bowl appearance. And if he wins, it's going to be his 6th Super Bowl. The man is just simply out of this world. Where he solidified his legacy was, unfortunately for me, when they played the Atlanta Falcons in the 2017 Super Bowl, because the Atlanta Falcons are my team.
Now we know who you support.
Oh yeah, well, everybody knows that. And it broke my heart. Why? Because in the 3rd quarter, Atlanta were whooping the New England Patriots by 28-3. I mean, I don't know what jazz or what god.
It's a samba, baby. It's a samba.
Well, it's the samba.
It's a samba
You know
from
they
his
have
life.
Yoruba. You know they have Yoruba goddesses in Brazil. So
Yeah.
that's probably what happened. So they probably made a quick visit to whatever shrine she belongs to, and then he just came back miraculously and threw like 6
tell you
touchdowns.
what, Swaji, before you continue, see what they say about revenge. They said the best revenge is ultimate success. When you succeed in the face
I'm
of those
telling you.
who have told you time without number that you cannot do this. Look at all the things they said to him. How
No,
do
no,
you
no.
not rise above
Look,
all
everybody,
this?
all greatness, especially across all sports. Even when you look at basketball, the same thing said about Michael Jordan. Do you know that Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball
He
team?
was short.
A lot of people did not know that he was short. Literally over summer, this guy grew like 7 inches and became the greatest basketball player the world ever.
Yeah,
So
Nigerian
yes,
beings.
clearly some pounded yam or something. But point being is that when you are fueled by this desire to prove your critics wrong, it just more or less catapults you to another
Yeah.
level entirely. And Tom
Even
Brady-
this year, I didn't think they could.
I
This
didn't
year, I didn't
so.
think they could make
it was
this
too well.
this
The
year.
AFC was kind of weak. Let me just put that
No,
out
yeah,
there.
it was a lot of
AFC was kinda weak.
inconsistent.
Now,
teams.
Tega and I were talking about this earlier. They're going up against the LA Rams. Very exciting team. And Tega's going to be kicking herself because you know that time she left us and she went to October and she was doing hashtag LA
Yes, every
and
time.
everything else. You know she had an opportunity to go watch the LA Rams play, but
She
because
didn't.
they lost, they told her, oh, they got to keep losing. Tega was like, you know what, I'm not going to see them.
Ah.
And now she missed out on watching them because they're now in the Super Bowl. So
I'm
Tega
telling
took
you,
that.
I just feel so
Exactly.
bad. Like I had VIP tickets.
Yeah,
I was like,
VIP ticket. When she came back, you know when you came back, I was so upset. Like how
I was
could
like,
you
why
not
should I
go?
watch the LA Rams?
Well,
They're just going to lose.
so the LA Rams, Valentine, quarterback is Jared Goff. He's 30. He's 22.
Yeah, he's very young.
He's very young, 22, and their coach is 32. So when you think about it now, in terms of the dynamics, it's like youth versus age because the head coach for New England Patriots is like almost like 65. John Brady's 41, and then you now look at the coach of the LA Rams is 32. The quarterback is 21. So it's like the new school versus the old school. So who's going to actually win it? It's going to be an exciting Super Bowl.
I really can't wait.
Yeah,
So,
if I come here on Monday morning sounding like I haven't slept, it's because I haven't slept.
Because you haven't slept. No, nobody sleeps on Super Bowl Sunday, especially in Lagos. So it's going to be an exciting one. Tom Brady's trying to solidify his legacy, and he has nothing to prove. The man is going to do it. Let's see what happens. Anything can happen on that day. It is Super Bowl Sunday, but the way it's looking, experience might just kick in. So let's see.
And it's something I'm very, very excited about. We're anticipating that game on Sunday morning, Sunday night, Monday morning.
Yeah.
Lagos, you're listening to The Locker Room. It's a part of Smooth Breakfast with Valentine. You're joined by Tega Supreme, and corporate MC, which is YG. Lagos, keep it here.
All right.
All right, thank you so much.
Good.
So see you on Sunday night.
So remember, we tailgate early.
Yeah,
So just come.
yeah. And you know how
I'll
I was
be
there
there.
last year, so I knew how.
I know.
I will be there.
That's a lot of fun. Just
Are we buying anything this year? Because I don't see that
no
there's.
need,
Okay.
because we're doing it. My brother runs. He's now started running this aqua pool club
Okay, okay.
at Landmark.
Yeah.
So they're now.
Yeah.
Woo!
Okay.
And I've got Lagos Flag Football. They're coming.
Whoa!
Yes,
Yes.
yeah, Lagos Flag Football
Yeah,
team. They're all
yeah,
coming.
They're all coming.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they put it on their Instagram
Instagram
page.
and
Yes,
okay.
it's
I'm going to
event.
go and read everything I do not know
Yes.
about Super Bowl.
So you don't want
So
But more
that-
importantly,
Yeah.
rest and pace yourself
Oh.
because they're long nights.
Yes.
The long nights. I'm gonna go home around 4 p.m. on Sunday. I have a lot of running around to do.
Okay.
Sleep
Okay.
to like 6, 7,
Okay.
and just pace my way into the night.
So that thing, that's planned,
How far?
is most likely June 1st and 5th.
I'm around.
Yes.
Benin,
Yes.
and we'll fly to Benin.
Very good.
Or we'll drive, whichever way
Very
we
good.
have to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right, bro. So we'll talk, right?
Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
No.
So I told yesterday I didn't drink any water at all.
Okay.
So this morning I woke up and I said I must drink water. So I woke up and I finished. Before I came to work, I just drank a full bottle of water. So I've been peeing ever since.
That's very important. So
Ay, I can't believe I went a whole day without drinking water. Sometimes I do it
not good.
for days. So I will have other drinks, but I won't have water. And then I'll start feeling a headache right there. And back on one side of my head. But that was cool.
I know. We're back. If you just joined us, Lagos, you're listening to The Locker Room. It's the sports segment as a part of Smooth Breakfast here on Smooth 98.1. We see your messages on WhatsApp. If you just joined and you want to send in a message, please send it through WhatsApp to 0809 444 0981. Chimobi Victor sent in this one. He said, Auntie Tega, the God that did it for Asisa Toshoala and Kevin Prince Boateng will surely pick our call this February. Happy New Month to The Locker Room.
Happy New Month.
And more messages here. Sheriff Oluwaleke Akindi sent in this one. He says, like someone said, the God that picked KPB and Asisa Toshoala's call will pick our call this month too. Oh wow, okay, that's nice. And then please put your names to your messages. The real one says, from Akoka, says, I hear say Sari cigarette burn in mouth 4 times yesterday. George from Aja says, I want New England to win the Super Bowl so Tom Brady can solidify his claim as the GOATs of American sports. The Rams have no business being in the Super Bowl after the steal in New Orleans against my Saints. Go Patriots!
It's true. I would have preferred to see the Saints against the. I would have preferred to see the Saints and Drew Brees against Tom Brady at the Super Bowl. Again, yes, they were robbed, and it would have been fantastic. Two quarterbacks with great experience, who have been through some, controversy and drama in their career. It would have been nice to see them, but Super Bowl is a Super Bowl.
Yes.
We may be angry that some people are performing when they should have been
boycotting.
boycotting, but we're also going to enjoy the halftime show, but we're also going to enjoy the game. So hopefully, let's see how it turns out.
All right, so let's talk about Liverpool. So their manager, Jurgen Klopp, insisted his team were denied a clear penalty which could have given them victory over Leicester on Wednesday and a 7-point lead in the Premier League title race. According to Klopp, he fumed and said, "It was probably the clearest penalty situation we've had. You will have to ask the ref why he didn't give it." The opponent was well organized, he continues, very deep defending. The pitch was difficult and we needed to speed it up in the final third. Our quarter attacks in the opening moments were defended more by the pitch than our opponents, the German jokes. He says, "We put them under pressure, but they did really well. We're unlucky with the ball in the last second before halftime. You have to take it how it is."
Okay, so everybody's at fault but his team. So the pitch had the problem, the referee had the problem,
Yes.
but his team did not. We can't blame his team for being a little bit lackadaisical. We can't blame his team for being a little bit slow on the ball. No, we can't blame the team for anything. That's his problem.
For club and country.
For club and country. But here, look, Jurgen knows that he blew a chance to take it to 7-point lead. However, 5-point gap at the top is not a bad one, especially with the way and the that Guardiola's team has been performing in some games. So it's not a bad one. And considering that Manchester City is supposed to take on Arsenal this Sunday, that's a tougher. I mean, they have a tougher run of fixtures. Manchester City have a tougher run of fixtures on paper than Liverpool. So his 5-point gap at the top is still good, but 7 points would have been emphatic. And he had the opportunity to do that, especially seeing the result of Manchester City the day before and then going into that game knowing that your 3 points was, he should have just ground out the result somehow. And I understand with him, with VAR, that penalty could have been given.
Yes.
I've also seen a penalty given that shouldn't have been given, even with VAR. So it's the interpretation of the referee behind the monitors I'm questioning now. But at the end of the day, they had a whole 94 minutes to play. And they did not score a second goal. You can't blame the pitch for that. You can't blame the pitch because you considered a goal just before halftime. The worst time to consider a goal. You don't let your guard down, especially when the game is rounding down like that. So yes, he can throw the blame at everybody, but he has to understand that his team right now, even to, like I said in recent times, the difference between them and Manchester City is that they grind out results. But the thing is, they are grinding. And some of those games are supposed to be smooth and easy. And I know that you're saying the EPL, they're professional footballers, no game is supposed to be easy. There are no minions in football, but quality past quality sometimes. Yeah. So don't blame them too much. Just look at what your team did wrong, and this weekend you'll have a chance to do better. That's it.
All right. So Benga Kamu says, if Sarri of Chelsea does not change his tactics, Abramovich will change him in a jiffy. Sarri is not working. Leicester on their day is a threat to any team in the league, and Klopp's team was lucky to escape with a point. And Leicester too had a penalty shout. They should come down. He said, MI from Akoga says, I truly feel sorry for Sarri. More concerning is the fact that Abramovich, unlike his biblical namesake, does not have patience as one of his virtues. As is that, daughter of Ashola, Oyagbe body. So China today, Barcelona tomorrow. Shebi Olua Loshei. MI, thank you very much. Hashtag Nigeria to the world. Very interesting messages here we're getting on WhatsApp. That number is 0809444091. And I dare you to laugh at my Yoruba. Alright, let's move on to this next story. Karim Benzema scores twice as Real reach Copa del Rey semis. So Karim Benzema struck twice at Real Madrid as they booked their place in the semi-finals at the Copa del Rey with a 3-1 second leg win over Girona. Now Madrid joins Barcelona, Valencia and Real Betis in the heart for Friday's draw.
Yes, an interesting one that is going to be here. So here it is for me. The biggest game was the Barcelona Sevilla game. And Sevilla were 2 goals up from the first leg. And Barcelona came into the game knowing that they had to do the job, so they played all their big boys: Coutinho, excuse me, Luis Suarez, Lionel Messi. And that was the game I said even with VAR a penalty was given.
Yes.
So Messi gets into the 18-yard box, kicks the ground. There's a player that puts him off, but player puts him off, which a defender should do on a normal day. Messi kicks the ground, referee points to the spot, gives a penalty. There's VAR, but there's a penalty to Messi for kicking the ground by himself of himself.
Wow.
So, which is why I say the referee sitting behind the monitor.
Wow.
And so from one angle, yes, you can say, yeah, they showed an angle where it looked like it was a player that he kicked there was contact between himself and player. But there was another angle, which is why they have multiple monitors, which clearly shows that he kicked the ground. Actually, a penalty. And then that opens the floodgates. So he gets a penalty, gives it to Coutinho. Coutinho scores his first goal, and Coutinho was celebrating like, yes, I'm Paul Pogba. It's a penalty, dude, calm down. But the good news is that he scored the second goal, a header, so maybe things are going to begin to turn around for Coutinho in Barcelona, because sometimes when you score goals like this, it just gives you a different level of confidence to approach the game. It settles your nerves and everything. So hopefully this is a turnaround for him. But Barcelona go on to win that game by 6-1, and they're through to the next round. On the other hand, for Real Madrid, they have done half the job. They're already leading 4-2 from the first leg. So half the job was done. It just needed for them to score a few more goals yesterday, which they did, and now they're in the heart for the semi-finals. So that semi-finals is what's going to be interesting. Hopefully I'll get to Barcelona, Real Madrid. And so I can enjoy my Copa del Rey more. But this weekend for Real Madrid, they're going to be playing on Sunday against Alaves. And hopefully it's not too tough a fixture, because Alaves are good, but sometimes when they travel, they are very poor visitors. But Barcelona take on Valencia this weekend, so a tougher fixture on paper. Let's see how Barcelona pull through.
All right. So we have messages on Twitter. Obeni K. Mafe, that's the real Kufre85, sent in this message on Twitter. He says, Klopp blames the wind, the ball, now the pitch, what's next? The moon. And I found somebody I'm going to beat this weekend. Obeni, he says, I'm laughing at you, Rebecca, come and beat me. What's wrong with you? Now, Big E from K2 says, the God that did it for Cesar to Jola will do it for me and you. In other news, I'm sorry for Chelsea. Accept my sympathy. Arsenal is shooting more this month and winning the Europa this season. I like the play on words. Nice one. Now, Big T says, Tega, you know I respect your opinion. Please, can you review Chelsea last game and send your response to Sari? The dude says he has no clue what happened. Help me tell him what. Alright, so let's take this other one. This message is from Shay. Shay says, congrats to Assisats. Go to Barca and show them the Niger way. Tega, please text me Sari's number. He has to go now before he wrecks my Chelsea. Kilope. He's too stubborn with his formation and tactics. Valentine, Liverpool may not win this league. Happy weekend. Thank you very much, Shay. We'll go to this next story now. Let's talk about Arsenal, shall we? Arsenal has confirmed a huge injury boost ahead of Sunday's trip to the Etihad Stadium to take on defending Premier League champions Manchester City. Lawrence Koscielny was forced off during a FA Cup defeat to Manchester United earlier this month. However, it was later confirmed that the centre-back had only suffered bruising. Now, it would be a huge boost for Arsenal if Koscielny is fit to start on Sunday, as they are down to the bare bones in central defence without him. Nacho Monreal did a decent job against Cardiff at home on Tuesday night, but Man City away is a different level.
Yes, and Man City away also coming into the game on the back of a defeat, and knowing that they've been given a second chance by Liverpool's draw, would approach this game totally differently. I mean, their teams are beating Manchester City this season that you say Manchester City shouldn't have gotten a point against, but Arsenal do not have that record of not conceding goals, and that's where the problem with Arsenal is. Against Chelsea, I said this thing, but Chelsea put on a poor display and Arsenal got to win that. But still, even against Cardiff City, where it looked like Arsenal was in control at some point, they still managed to concede a goal. And if maybe Cardiff City had better quality up front, it would have been a totally different story. So with that Arsenal defense as shaky as it is, and with the injuries mounting up as because if you're talking about Koscielny coming into the game, he still had to undergo a procedure that they had to take out a broadcloth. So the body is still healing from so he's in training, but the body is still going to take its time to heal when it's going to heal. And regardless of that, it's the way they set up their defense that sometimes is questionable, and that defense breaks down from the midfield. Manchester City can totally take advantage of that, knowing the job that they have to do, the opportunity, the second chance that they've been given. So it would be a tough fixture. Manchester City are playing at home, Arsenal away. Doesn't look good for the Gunners right now. But this is football.
Anything can happen. Lagos, what's going to happen is we'll take a break. We'll be back with more stories. And remember to send in your messages through WhatsApp to 0809 444 0981. This is the Locker Room on Smooth 98.1.
It appears a lot more people want to hear about Chelsea. So let me look for the Chelsea. Sorry, I didn't want to talk about the Sarri news.
Toby and his girlfriend.
So we'll read Sarri news. Cancel this story. This story I just put it as backup.
Okay. Which one? This is Lazio story.
You know, that's the last one. If we read this Chelsea story, if we can take this Chelsea story.
Okay.
Let me see. Let me read it.
With Visa on mobile from First Bank, she can easily get paid.
Hold on, into the war.
All she'll have to do is get her customers to open your banking app, select scan to pay, scan her QR code, and voila, the money goes straight to her account. Don't be like Sharon. Pick up a form from the nearest First Bank branch to set up
Was
Visa
okay on the fire. Chelsea
for your
was
business today.
Chelsea was some okay. Hold on. Okay, he was with us. He played 3 days ago. There was winner in 7-11, so I had only one winger on the bench. We have 4 wingers, one has to be in the stands. Okay, so you end it. So what you do is you read this beginning, then you read this. So you read. I'm so sorry, I should have done this for you. Let me show you where you stop. No. So you read scroll. You read scroll. You read from here, you read here to here, and then you read the quotes.
Which quote? This one?
No. No, scroll back up. So here.
Now here's the thing. I don't need
So
noise while I
You
work.
read 1, 2,
and
Synergy
then
is the rhythm of my hands while I design, like a
and then
friend
go back
or
up.
a muse, helping to set the mood that
This one.
fuels my
Yes.
fire. It's simple. If music is the food of the
Do you
soul,
understand?
then
So
Smooth FM
Okay.
is my favorite diamond. My station that constantly inspires.
mics are up.
I'm Lola, and this is my radio.
We're glad to know you're still there. You're listening to Smooth 98.1, and this is the sports segment as a part of Smooth Breakfast with me, Valentine, and it's called the Locker Room 981. Tega is here as always at Tega Supreme. Now let's talk about Sarri. So on the fire, Chelsea manager Maurizio Sarri has revealed team balance was the reason he left want-away winger Callum Hudson-Odoi out of the squad to face Bournemouth. Now, Sarri's side were thumped 4-0 by the Cherries at the Vitality Stadium on Wednesday, with Hudson-Odoi's conspicuous absence from the team list noted. Now, at the press conference Sarri addressed, he says, a post-match press conference, he says, he was with us. He played 3 days ago. There was Willian, so I had only one winger on the bench. Wow, boy.
exactly, this is interesting. So there have been calls to play Hudson-Odoi a lot more frequently, and to drop William a little more often. I mean, I remember when Barcelona said they were interested in William, and all Chelsea fans were offering him up like Christmas presents. Just take it. Look, just take it. This is our charity to you. That's how much people have questioned the way William's form has been in recent seasons. And so, again, when you see Hudson-Odoi, he's ready to prove himself with that hunger. And sitting on the bench, sometimes it calls to question, but that's not the only questionable defense decision that Sarri has made tactically. The guy just simply refuses to learn. Keeps playing, for me, people out of their position, and there's nothing wrong with playing possession football, especially with the Cherries. The Cherries, for me, it is the fact that Sarri decides that his way is the only way to play football, regardless of his opposition. Because sometimes when you play a certain team, sometimes just give them the ball and then play a little smarter. But no, he doesn't do that. If you ask me, from that midfield, I'll keep saying, regardless of the fact that Kante can run around and move from box to box, he's always better sitting in front of the defense. If he sits in front of the defense, sometimes the errors made by defenders can be protected by Kante. But this guy doesn't say, is that Jorginho that he likes there? Again, the way the team broke, especially in the second half, and the way they allowed Bournemouth to come from behind him, wasn't for me a question of team selection per se. It was more a question of positioning, the way he formatted his team. So I think he needs to sit down, look at himself, and tell himself the truth. I am not good at this.
So Cruz here says, have you done the analysis on the Chelsea's game? That's what you just heard. If you could repeat it, I need the Blues fan in my office to hear you. Send now hot food with the bun mouths, Chelsea chop. And then Sheriff Oluwaleke ends by sending his message. He said, leave cigar, sorry no go here. Until he burn him out for nothing.
That's a nice one.
That's how you say play words, right? On the comments. Thank you so very much, Lagos, for listening. This was fun, actually. Locker Room 91 comes up every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. A part of Smith's Breakfast at 8:15. Coming up next, a special thanks to Tega for stepping in as always. At Tega Supreme on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Well, not Instagram yet, but thank you very much. Lagos, coming up next, it's a Feel Good Friday, so we'll have a fun conversation lined up for Lagos Talks 981 this morning. It's top of the hour, 9 o'clock. Good morning.
I'm not on Facebook, darling.
You're not?